Allocation of 5.8 billion shillings by Treasury towards HIV, AIDS, malaria and tuberculosis has been welcomed as a positive move towards procuring the much-needed medicine. Kenya's HIV response is heavily dependent on donors for funding, which health experts says is no longer sustainable. Tonight, our reporter Dorcas Wangira examines what happens next after this allocation and why Kenya's domestic financing for the HIV response is critical for any person living with HIV.
I have proposed an allocation of shilling 121.1 billion to the health sector to support the various programs aimed at improving health outcomes. To lower cases of HIV, AIDS, and malaria and tuberculosis in the country, shilling 5.8 billion has been set aside.
When the dust of the budget reading and allocations settles, the real work now begins. For those living with HIV in this country, like Josephat Moshe in Nandi, this is significant.
Nina furaha kwa budget ambayo ilisomwa jana kwa sababu at least tunaona serikali inaanza kuchukua jukumu la at least la kusaidia watu wanaoishi na virusi vya ukimwi. Kama awali tumekuwa tukitetea tukisema serikali ianze kujiandaa kuchukua hii program ili wanaofadhili hizi program wakitoka serikali iwe inaweza kufadhili.
Likewise, health economists take stock of this particular allocation.
We need about 25 billion to be able to provide just life-saving ARV commodities for Kenyans. So it's a drop in the ocean. It's really our drop and it's our ocean, because for the first time we are able to now say we have put in money for those 3 strategic programs.
But what is this money for exactly?
Specifically to deal with drugs, diagnosis and treatment. We were very clear for now to increase the domestic financing for the entire healthcare.
But the allocation is one thing. The trickling down to counties and proper implementation of the projects that it is meant to fund is another. Dr. Adel Ottoman, Director for Preventive and Promotive Health Services in Homa Bay County, the county with the highest prevalence of HIV and capacity for HIV response, says a delay in disbursement will beat the purpose of the allocation.
Counties are having the capacity and the willingness to spend with accountability and integrity. They bring the money when time is already spent. So you don't have enough time to really implement the plan that already you had. Budgets are read in June. The money comes in October. You see? Already 1 quarter is lost. Nairobi wants you to spend, so you do things haphazardly.
68% of Kenya's HIV response is funded by foreign donors. Despite significant progress in the past years, the budget allocation to the health sector is still not achieving the government's own commitment of 15%. Loans and grants for HIV, malaria and TB have significantly reduced from 20 billion shillings in the financial year 2018-2019 to 23.7 billion shillings in the next year, and now stands at 15.2 billion shillings in the financial year 2019-2020. The economic downturn as a result of the COVID-19 pandemic has further compounded the situation. The recent ARVs crisis and yet to be fully resolved standoff between USAID and the Ministry of Health is a pointer to the fact that current funding sources are no longer sustainable. Amoshe is living proof.
Sai at least pato tulafanywa rationing ya dawa. Tulapata dawa ya mwezi moja, tupate dawa za miezi zote mitatu. So hii bado latia wasiwasi.
Kenya urgently needs innovative and alternative sources for HIV financing to stop over-dependence on donors.
We have no option. We have to start thinking of domestic resource mobilization.
Dorcas Wangira, Citizen TV, Nairobi.